How we doing, Bob?
I'm damn good.
Yeah?
I'm working. I'm working out. I have a new hour of stand up, which is bizarre to me because I'm like every 4-year guy when it comes to a special.
Mm-hmm.
So because I do a bunch of other things, I do garden work and I clean deli slicers at different delis around the world. But I travel the world cleaning slicers. But
I had a guy.
I was
a guy at my local deli when I was a kid sliced his finger right off. You remember
Yeah,
that?
I cut my hand right through here. Well, actually, I didn't do it on the slicer. Somebody asked me to slice their canned ham. I was really a deli clerk for 6 years. It's a lovely story. I had a great upbringing, and I had a trade. I'm still in the Amalgamated Meat Cutters Union on a leave of absence. I really am.
Amalgamated Meat Cutters Union
on a leave of absence, and that's
I don't
who
know if
knows.
you're kidding.
I know.
No, I'm not kidding.
But you might be.
So you
I don't
may
know.
be.
You keep
I'm
saying
not.
that to
I'm
me.
not.
and
In my shows, I explain it.
Okay.
Because it's important to know that I have a trade. If the showbiz doesn't work
it all
out,
goes away. You still got the meat cutting.
I'll be making sandwiches like there's no tomorrow. I can fillet a Nova Lox, but that really hits a big part of your demographic. My shows have been. I didn't think I'd be doing stand up right now. I'm working on.
Did you think you were done? Like ever gonna do it
No,
again?
I never thought I was done. Right. I mean, I couldn't help it. There's always some form of something. Like I am starting a podcast just to try to drive you guys off the air.
Yeah, you motherfuckers. I'm sick of famous people.
Don't talk about my
getting
mom and
podcasts.
what we did. But Barstool is you can't mess with you guys. You're an
I don't
empire.
know,
You moved
man.
to a new building that has rats, and your bathroom smells like my grandmother's pee.
Oh,
Well, maybe your grandmother peed in there.
She's gone 40 years.
Oh well,
but,
you know.
But
all right, here's a question for you.
It sticks with you, that smell, huh?
Yeah, you
boy,
really remember
did
your
you go
grandma's
in
pee
that
smell.
restroom?
Yeah,
Wow, that's what
not
happens
great.
when you got cubicles with people sitting in their chair all day on a laptop. It's not a laptop; it's a crap top. That's why it's bar stool, solid bar stool. But this new hour, like tonight. I'm at the Music Hall in Tarrytown, New York, which is where the Headless Horseman in that story, you know. Mm-hmm. You know what story I'm talking
yeah.
about?
Yeah, I didn't know that
The
was
Legend
in
of
Tarrytown,
Sleepy Hollow. I didn't either.
I
It's
could've
right
sworn
above
that was
it.
Massachusetts.
No, I can tell you the truth
Yeah?
because I just read about it so I could be educated on your podcast that he's a headless horseman.
He's a Hessian, right?
I don't really know his name. But I know Ichabod Crane was the guy that was a skinny sleuth trying to get him. But I just hope he don't come to the show tonight because he's got no head. How's he going to laugh? And you know what life's like with no head. It's terrible. And then tomorrow night, Friday, these are plugs. Tomorrow night, Friday, I'm in Inglewood, New Jersey at the Bergen Center for the Arts. I guess they call it the Bergen Pack or something. I guess it's the Bergen Performing Arts Center. I just figured out what the initials mean.
Yeah,
And Saturday, I'm
Killing it,
in
Bob.
Atlantic City at the Hard Rock, which is the best hotel there now, I'm told.
Yeah.
And I'm going with my buddy Mike Young, who I've been touring with since I met him when he was a writer on Entourage. And I was kind of like that guy a little bit, unfortunately.
You were just down in Miami with him, weren't you?
Yeah. We had
How
a good
was that?
time. We had a good time. The
Yeah?
audience was diverse. It was interesting. I don't do political stuff in my stand-up, and it's good that I don't.
would have been a problem.
Well, it's good. Well, I'm this tour I'm doing is going to go for a while. I'm doing Canada in a couple weeks.
Shit.
It's a good city, Canada. And then I'm doing. I'll be going through Rhode Island. I'm going to end up in Texas because I actually love Texas. But these
Why?
days things are
Texas, nah.
Austin's a
You could
great
take it a little
town.
bit. No, I think Austin's crazy overrated.
No, well, but you're wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm definitively right. I've been to Austin twice, and
You've been to Austin twice.
Yeah.
I've been there over 40 years, like 4 times.
You're the expert.
For like a week at a time. I know everything. I'm a millennial. I've been there twice. I had chocolate cake once. It was terrible. I'm never eating it again.
yeah.
I propose that it's a great place. And Dallas and Houston
Houston sucks. Houston stinks, man.
Yeah.
Houston is just blah.
Well, it's a little bit like a Phoenix in Texas.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect example. Like, blah.
Driving.
God, you're
but
speaking
I have
so highly
fun
of
in
it.
Phoenix. It's people that are trying to do jobs and make a good living and be able to afford a house.
That's fine. That's
And-
all well and good. That doesn't make it like
But
fun.
Texas can secede from the union if they want. The whole
Yeah,
state's
see you
on
later.
casters.
Yeah.
Ready to. I think a lot of states are going to want to secede. I don't know what's going to happen. I want to succeed. I want to suck anyone's seed and get pregnant through my mouth. I don't know if you can say that here.
You can say whatever the fuck you want, Bob.
Whatever you want.
All right.
Whatever you want, Bob.
Yes.
Hey, Bob, when you went to the bathroom here,
Yes, I didn't. I went in and checked my hair because I had headphone hair.
that's
Didn't
the
do
worst,
me
huh?
no good.
I was going to ask you if you washed your hands. Do you wash
I
your
wash
hands?
my hands before. A lot of people don't wash their hands. The time to wash your hands is before.
Yeah.
If you're at a urinal, it's before you touch your penis.
Right.
You
I like
don't-
how you hesitate.
This
on
is
penis.
if you're a dude. by
You said
the
you
way.
wanted to suck seed and get pregnant in your mouth, and you're like, well, penis.
Yeah, because I didn't mean to say that. That just kind of slipped out, and I meant nothing by it. But I'm a very good person and an upstanding citizen. So I think you need to wash your hands before you touch your wiener, because you know where your hand has been. You've shaken tons of hands.
Touching everything
You're
beforehand.
touching everybody and everything. You don't know if they were on a flight and somebody flew in from China and that person sneezed. It was on their hand.
Right,
And
you
they
get
started
coronavirus
punching
all
the
over
seat,
the place.
punching the seat in front of you. That's apparently that's not supposed to be done.
Where do you fall on that? That was like this
well, I
should be
don't-
like a full blown war.
I don't
Like,
understand
pick
how you
sides.
can fall anywhere on that except the guy's an asshole.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And all of a sudden, the airline president says, "Well, it's a policy to ask the person behind you if you can recline."
No, it's
And
not.
no
Fuck
one on this
off.
earth has ever heard that. First thing, she's a lady, and I still believe in that. Yes, women should have completely everything, but you don't. I mean, you don't hit a guy. You definitely don't hit a lady. I was just kind of raised that way.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are raised to hit a lady because they watch their dad beat the crap out of their mom, and that makes them an accomplice in a way. I mean, they didn't report it. They didn't call child services. My dad's beating the shit out of my mom. And it's awkward because they just had sex. I don't know why. Maybe that's why. Maybe something didn't happen right. It's probably because Dad couldn't do it. But this lady laid back, and I think after you get punched for about half an hour in a good hour body bag session, you kind of bring your chair about halfway up. That's the only thing I would say.
Oh no!
At that
dig
point,
in.
I'm
dig in.
I'm leaning
Well,
all the way back.
Well, I might agree with you. At
At that point, it's
And-
getting spiteful.
I
But
get
what
you.
if it's a lady behind you and you're going to recline and she's very attractive, or a dude behind you that you like, in that way? I wish the seats go 180 flat, so you're actually in their lap looking up their tube top. If it's a dude, because you can't say anything anymore, and that's a problem comedically. You have to.
Do
be
you
very
run into
careful.
problems with that? I feel
Well,
like you really let it
I've
fly.
adjusted a lot of things.
Have you?
I did a show in England.
Does not sound like
Yeah,
it.
I feel like you
No.
get carte blanche. You can do.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I feel like
I don't
you
want
kind
to
of-
though. They want it sometimes. Like I never told the aristocrats joke except in that movie. I did it one time at someone's wedding. It was the after party. So, but I mean, I only heard the joke once before. It was just a moment in time, and it was about freedom of speech. But you can't make that movie now. You can't show that movie now. I mean, you can. It would be a stomping of your feet to what's going on in the world. Anybody that suppresses my freedom of speech, if it's what I find funny, what I don't want to do, I want the audience to find it funny too. I don't want to say anything that 4 people are hurt.
Right.
And I had a couple things like that. I mean, I had a bunch of stuff like that, and I said, "Let's write a new hour. Just go out there and don't let yourself say your old stuff."
Really?
So I take out as much as I can of my penis, but I put a little umbrella.
Your penis is the one joke that makes everyone sad.
Well, it depends if I have the pin spot, if I have the spotlight, on it appropriately. I do puppetry of the penis. I make him talk. He says stuff like,
I'll be honest, that's a show I would watch.
puppetry of the penis.
Yeah, I really Bob Saget.
Well, there was
it
a
has to be a
movie-
specific person.
There was a movie years ago, a million years ago. You weren't born. It was called The Groove Tube. Nobody's old enough here to know it. No. And The Groove Tube was a comedy movie that was really funny, and it was like pre-SCTV, which you hope you know. That's where John Candy came from, and Martin Short, and Eugene Levy, and Catherine O'Hara. That was this amazing Toronto group. And The Groove Tube was a movie that was made, and all of a sudden you're watching something, and you think it's a puppet, and then you realize it's a penis and balls dressed up. And it was Richard Belzer's, the comedian Richard Belzer's penis and balls. And he then got testicular cancer. So he's one of the few people on this earth that can go back and watch an actual feature film with his full balls back.
It's a full movie?
It's not the whole movie. It's a penis movie.
Okay, it's a scene.
No, it's
It's a penis movie, idiot.
No, it's many comedy scenes. It's vignettes, and I don't know if it holds up, but it sure was funny.
It's like the you ever see Jackass? I think it was Jackass 2 when they have they dress up his dick like a puppet and they put it in a snake cage.
Oh yes, and it's just like nipping at his ball bag.
The snake just bites his.
See,
dick.
I don't like that stuff. I don't like actual. Real cruelty. I can't watch.
I mean, he's willingly putting it in.
It's his own balls.
I
His own
understand.
dick
You
and
can staple your eye too. I mean, if you're an idiot. But I mean, and I love Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah. See, we were raised on that. That's why we're fucked up.
No, I understand. I watched it, and he's actually a friend. So it's like I can name drop like nobody's business. By the way.
I bet you can. I bet you got basically everybody, right?
I got a lot of people.
Like, there's no one who's ever gonna like not hang out with you.
Well, yeah, there are.
Yeah, you think?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you're at any party or
this year, I'm not gonna get. I mean, who was nominated? I don't think Christopher Plummer. He wasn't nominated.
You think Joaquin Phoenix is letting you in his party?
I don't want to hang with Joaquin Phoenix.
You can't drink milk with that
guy. He can't
guy.
remember to thank anybody on the film but himself. And unfortunately, I think that's not. Think he's got some issues, so I feel bad. I feel bad for him, but he's a brilliant actor, brilliant. But I didn't love the Joker because it was.
I thought he did a good job.
He did a great job, but it was so negative, and I just understand his process wasn't very collaborative. It was really just him and the director, and I do think it's a collaborative medium. But I also understand, I guess you'd call it method acting, where people have to really become the guy.
Fuck that, though, right?
I don't know. I don't know. There
are
are people that do it and have done it over the years. There's a famous story. There's a movie called Marathon Man with Laurence Olivier and Dustin Hoffman. And Laurence Olivier kind of plays like an ex-Nazi, but he's a dentist. And it's where the line, "Is it safe?" that came from. I don't know if you know that line, but you don't know anything about it. But it doesn't matter. It's a famous movie. And Dustin Hoffman was a big movie star, and he's really quite interesting and smart. And he was really method acting it. So he had to go to see this dentist who was going to torture him. So he runs around the block before they shot the scene because he's running a lot. He's a marathon man. He runs to get out his anger. And he ran and ran and ran before shooting it. This is a real story. And then he comes to work and he's out of breath. And Laurence Olivier said, "Why are you so out of breath?" He says, "I wanted to run around the block to get ready for this scene." He says, "Can't you simply just act, my boy?" Which
kind of true, though, right? I mean,
I always say that with Daniel Day-Lewis, where it's like he was doing some movie and went and became a carpenter for 4 years. Like, well, you're not even acting. You just
became a carpenter. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jesus was a carpenter.
Yeah.
If I was
but he wasn't an actor.
We don't know. I mean, it was 2,000 years ago. Maybe he had a twin brother, and that's who they got rid of, and he's fine. That's going to fly well. I mean, I've acted and gotten lost in the part. I've done a couple of things. I did a play once called Privilege here at the Second Stage Theater, and I played like an Ivan Boesky character, like a guy that's doing illegal stuff like everybody in the news right now. And he went to jail for insider trading, and there was a scene for 10 minutes. We lost all our money. The kids had a Ralph Lauren bedroom and ended up in a little apartment. Lost all the money. The maid didn't have a maid anymore. And it was really based in the 80s. And Paul Weitz wrote it, who was a great writer, who wrote about a boy and... Nick Hornby wrote that. Like, why am I doing thesaurus of?
You know a lot
movies?
of fucking people about.
No, I don't. Well, kind of, but not. But I don't know Ivan Boesky because he was a terrible illegal man. Maybe
when you're doing
but anyway,
I
did the play, and it was 10 minutes long. I had to make their bed, and I didn't know how to do it, and I had to do it every performance. And it's a 10-minute scene where I'm doing a monologue, and the boys don't know what's happened to Dad because it's a pretty sad play. But it's a great. He wrote a great play and waited for me to be ready to do it. But it took me a while to come out of it after every performance. If you go there, it just takes you a while. If you're acting, if that's what you're doing. Stand-up's a little different. Stand-up, you just want to chill and go, was that funny? Or if we recorded it, you go, oh, shit, I have to listen to myself. Are either of you stand-ups?
I've attempted, and it's so fucking hard.
I bombed for 12 years, 14 years, and then I started getting jobs, and then I got.
So wait, do you think you were bombing or like?
No, I was bombing.
But you get jobs, and then did you get like better material, or people just started to come because you know what I mean? It's like you weren't.
Well, it's because you don't. The more stage time you have, if you do a decade of stage time, and I was one of the hosts at the Comedy Store in L.A., so I'd be bringing out. Richard Pryor and Robin, and I brought out Eddie Murphy when he was working out the movie Raw. His concert, and then I watched him take it one Friday where it was really strong, but then the next Friday he came in and instead of a red leather suit he wore a blue leather suit, but more importantly than that he figured out what went wrong the week before because he's that good, and the walls were shaking. I'd never seen anybody, and I'd seen everybody. I mean, there isn't any comedian that I haven't seen that hasn't made
Eddie the best. Eddie the best you've seen?
Am I?
Is Eddie the best you've seen?
Oh,
or you? Sure.
Eddie. Right now, there's no one will ever be Eddie Murphy. I mean, Richard Pryor was probably the best that I'd ever seen, and I was in a Richard Pryor movie, and I was friendly with him, and I really loved him, but because he was talking such from the heart and such from the gut. I don't know if there'll ever be anybody better, and I love George Carlin, and as far as those people. That broke the mold of what you can do.
Who do you like currently?
I love the obvious is Chappelle because he's so bold and he's saying philosophical stuff, and some people get offended, but then most of the time he weaves his way out of it so smartly. And I love Bill Burr quite a bit. I just think he's another level. They're both able to. I always do this stupid metaphor. They're diving into a pool with no water, and then you figure how they're going to survive this, and they do. They just say something, you're going like, oh, fuck. He just dug a hole so big. That was anti-woman. That was anti-racial. What was that? And then it all makes sense, and that's true artistry. I like a lot of people.
What can people expect from your act? I feel like sometimes people don't know what to expect with Bob Saget.
My whole act is spoken in Slavic languages. And I do a lot of Ukrainian jokes because it's so fun right now. I'm not doing political stuff. I involve the audience. People don't know any better. Call, hey, your crowd work was good. And it's like, okay, thank you, Mr. But-um-bump. And if somebody doesn't know anything about comedy, they say, oh, your crowd work. Don Rickles, if you said crowd work to Don Rickles, he'd go like, what?
Shut up. Yeah.
I talk to the audience. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it does feel like a little bit of a buzzword these days.
It's not work. It's like they're there. It's like a town meeting. When I'm in Tarrytown tonight, that's a town meeting. I want to see the Headless Horseman. I want that. But I really look at it like broadcasting. When you're broadcasting, when you're doing this, they're your friends. You're talking to your friends. You're trying to make their day better. Because you're having an interaction that's real and live, they're part of it. And you're giving them companionship or laughs or something serious that all of a sudden happens and you go, God, we got to deal with this. This is upsetting. We got to talk about it. I'm sure in the past few weeks you've had a bunch of stuff that you had to address.
John shit his pants.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are you sponsored by a bleach company?
that was about
Why
it.
didn't you shit your
4
pants?
times?
I was really sick, Bob.
I was talking about more things like losing a national sports figure, but your most tragic thing
that was
that you talked about.
Probably. Yeah.
Why? What did you eat?
I don't know. It was just I don't.
Was it a hangover? Were you drunk the night before?
No, it was sober.
Yeah, I mean, you were sick. He was sick.
It was
but
it was just.
Oh yeah,
he was making couscous.
Yeah.
The food's so nice.
You don't
they
have
named it
anything
twice.
I should know about right now because I don't know if you heard, but something's going around.
Yeah, no. Right now you're good. Right now you're good.
Have you been on a cruise lately?
No, but I've been around people who were.
That's dangerous.
I didn't know that. Fuck.
Dangerous going
People
on.
in Aruba are going
Right,
cruises.
right.
Oh, you're
You might have
you're in real
coronavirus.
trouble.
Yeah.
I would get a blood
So are
test.
you now, pal.
Jeez, God in heaven. Why aren't you wearing a mask? Like, that's going to stop it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you can talk and breathe through it and shit, it's not helping out any fucking germs. You
The only
idiots.
I think it would be great if you asked somebody to take off the mask and they have no teeth. I mean, that's like the joke. They got like every third tooth. And that's why they wear it. It's not for the safety. But I don't know. My show is.
So are you getting? Are you getting deep? Are you going to talk
an
about death
amazing
and tough
amount-
stuff?
Yeah,
You
I've
gonna-
always talked about death.
Yeah.
I did a bunch of my last special, which was 0 to 60, was on Amazon Prime originally, and then now it's on Amazon Prime, but it's on Hulu and it's on Apple TV and all that. So people have really taken a liking to it. And the one before it, I was nominated for a Grammy, but Kathy Griffin won.
Oh fuck yeah!
But I like him. But it works at every single podcast. Same joke.
Nailed it. It's so easy.
And then, I don't think she'd get mad. I mean,
We did not get along with her.
Oh, well, was she here?
Yeah, she did not like us. She did not care for us.
Oh, well, maybe it's because you talked about shit in your pants.
It
No,
was.
it's because we talked about her cutting Donald Trump's head off, and all of a sudden she was like, "Whoa!" It's like, well, that's why you're here to
that's
talk
one
about that
thing
movie.
She doesn't want to talk
But
about
it was there. It was to promote the movie
That was what the
about.
promotional tour was.
It's like you
It
got
was promoting that movie.
It was weird.
And they were like, we got to change subject. It was like,
Well, that's all I got.
right, what else you wanna do?
I guess
News
she
radio.
got tired of talking about it. Maybe somebody should bring that head to my show.
There you go.
and
It all
Tarrytown.
comes full circle.
The headless horseman can have
Featuring
a
Kathy
head.
Griffin.
No, I don't. It wasn't Kathy Griffin. I don't think we want that head floating around on a horse. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm in trouble already.
So we got Tarrytown tonight. We got Inglewood tomorrow and Atlantic. So you're just
And then I go
tonight,
to
huh?
and then I go to Canada. Then I go to Denver. Then I go to. I'm all over the place. You just go to my website, which is called.
BobSaget.com.
Yeah, it's
I'd have
amazing.
to
I don't know
guess.
how I got that. Because there are people that want to be me. I have imposters everywhere.
Really?
One guy shits his pants. I don't like him. Why? How, you never told me. How did it happen?
I was asleep, and it just like.
Oh,
They
you
would wake
weren't
up
here.
and,
No, I wasn't here. I was
Because
home.
the bathroom smells like it's still.
I was home. I was sick.
Oh, you had a stomach flu.
Yeah, and it was just.
What
a
was
gut
that
out
caused
of
by? What did you eat? Like 2 pounds of baked beans?
the
Bibimbap or
yeah,
some shit.
the running
Bibimbap.
theory was Korean pork bibimbap. Bibimbap.
Korean pork bebop?
Bibimbap, I believe is how it's pronounced.
What's that mean?
I don't know. It's a Korean dish.
It's Korean for shit
Is
your
it-
pants.
Is it a North Korean dish? Has a missile.
Bimap, I think.
North Korean food has missiles in it, so it could detonate your entire colon. And then you'd be ripped to shreds. Your butthole would look like a praying mantis mouth. Like a cootie catcher. You can't be offended. You shit your pants.
I'm
You
not
talked about
offended.
it.
Bobby got out of control.
We lost. This got out of
brought it back.
control. That got out of control. We lost control. We lost.
Well, we have a connection.
Someone in that control.
I've had a
was out
hit
of
or miss
control.
before. I've had a ground.
You've only had a near miss.
No, I had like a Groundhog Day. I didn't know
it. Popped out. Came back
it
in.
wanted
Yeah.
to see its shadow or not.
There's no way. How old are you?
I'm 63.
You definitely shit your
I
pants.
don't look
And
it.
if not, you're gonna start shitting your pants soon.
No, it don't happen. I know how
You're gonna be
not to
wearing
shit my
Let me
pants.
tell you a little
You're gonna
trick.
be wearing
No, you
Depends
can't.
soon.
You youngsters. You're gonna
I
start
feel like
shitting your pants
you're
soon.
68.
No,
I'll give you till 68. You're gonna shit your pants at 68.
dude, I'm gonna live to 100. I'll take
You
2
definitely-
bottles of Imodium, and I will not shit for a year, in order just to prove your prophecy wrong. I want to be constipated.
I want a phone call from Bob Saget at 100 being like, it's been 365 days, motherfucker.
Oh, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna videotape, and you're gonna see my veiny, bony legs.
Oh, God.
And then I'm gonna let the camera dip down, and you'll see my testicles hanging on the water.
I was gonna say.
In a puppet fashion.
That's right, in a puppet-like fashion. In the what would have been porn. It was only an R-rated movie. I can't believe it.
Go to
Nobody knows what I'm
bobsaget.com.
talking about because that was a half hour ago. But,
Get your tickets at bobsaget.com. You're a legend, man. You're something else.
really nice.
You're
And
something
people
else.
tell me that. They say you're the goat. I'm like, are you saying I'm an animal with a bell around its neck?
It is an interesting thing that goat was always like the goat was
The bad
something,
thing.
the bad thing,
Yeah.
and it just kind of switched.
No,
Yeah, a lot of
it's the
things
best
like
thing.
happen like that. You know, like, man, you crushed.
Yeah,
I mean, well, that doesn't sound that bad.
Gosh, you killed it. You killed it.
You
seemed like
killed
something
it.
bad.
Sounds like you ruined it.
Yeah.
Or you are the
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, he
Somebody
really
said
killed
you
that.
are the shit, and I said thank you for adding the word the. It's just, you are shit. That doesn't sound like a compliment.
You're all of the above, Bob Saget.
Okay, I'm
Thanks
going to
for
leave
coming
because
in.
I'm going to shit my pants. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.